And hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to be learning about file dialogues. Now file dialogues is basically the dialogue you see when you want to select a file. I don't really have any examples that I can really show you. Maybe if I open up Audacity, I can maybe get a little file dialog up and running so you can see what I mean. So let's go right here. We can say file, open, and yeah, here we have a little file dialog. Of course, this is using our inbuilt file manager, which is a little bit different, but it's the same idea. It's just kind of your own little file manager that you have. Okay, now, yeah, so let's just get started. So first, let's create our basic Tkinter app. So from Tkinter, import star. This just means import everything from Tkinter. Then root.main, main loop, and we actually have to declare root before we can use it. So root is equal to tk. If you've been following along up until now, basically we're importing Tkinter to use the Tkinter module. Then we're assigning a root to tk. This is optional. You can of course just do this. This works perfectly fine. But as I always say, rather use root. It's just much more comfortable and everyone understands what it means. And this should be loop. So then we just create a basic loop to run the program. Save that and your program should run without any problems. There we go. Cool. So let's actually give our little window here a title, because why not? Root.title. This is optional. I'm just doing it because why not? And we can say dialogs. Cool. Now, if we want to be able to use a dialog, we actually need to import it. So to import it, it's a simple from Tkinter import file dialog. And these are one of the things we do have to unfortunately import specifically. So here we can say file is equal to file dialog right there. And then there's a bunch of options we can ask here. There's like ask directory, which will ask for a folder, because a directory is a folder. Then there's ask open file. This will ask to open a file. Ask open file name, and this will ask for, I guess, an open file name. Not quite sure. Yeah, ask a file to name to open, and ask multiple file names to open. Okay, now I've learned something new as well. Then of course we can ask to open multiple files, ask to save a file, and ask to save a file as name. So yeah, we're gonna try a few of these. I'm going to start with just this one, ask open file name. And here, I'm just going to go here, and I'm going to break it up because it's a little bit long, and I don't want it to break really using word break. Then we can say initial there, which means initial opening directory. You can make this wherever you want. For example, if I go here, this is where I currently am. So if I want it to open up in this folder, I can just copy and paste that. If you're on Windows, pwd doesn't work. CWD might work. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember how to do it on Windows, but it's truly just optional. Anyways, if you don't really know, you can just do /, which just means open up in root. And if you're on Windows, you can just say C:, and then /. 2 backslashes, do you know, escape 1 backslash. But yeah, or you can just do / as well. I think that should also work on Windows. Anyhow, so this will open it up in my root directory. Then we want to give it a title. So title is equal to select a file. And then we want to give it a file type it's allowed to open. So file types. And here we can specify a couple of things. It's going to be inside of a tuple, and there are going to be tuples inside of this tuple. So here we can say the name for this one is going to be PNG files, like that. And the extension for it is going to be star.png. Now what this means is that anything that ends in a .png. This star is a wildcard. A wildcard just basically means anything. Any amount of letters, any words, any numbers, anything can go here. But on the end, it should end with a .png. If you wanted to just be able to select everything, for example, you can do this. This means it will accept any file available. Or you can say name.star, and this will accept any file with the name that has any extension. It doesn't matter what extension it has, as long as it has an extension, it will accept it. So that's kind of a nice thing about star, a wildcard. So this is for PNGs. Now, of course, we can add a bit more. For example, let's say we want to allow JPEG files. And of course, you can also break this into multiple lines if you wanted to. That is totally possible. And in here, we can just also say it ends in star.png. No, not PNG. Star.jpg. So yeah. And then, of course, if you want to maybe select all files, so all files or something, doesn't really matter, then we can just say star.star. And this just basically means as long as it has an extension, allow it. If you just want everything, you can just say star. Anyhow, this is enough to actually get us a little file. So I'm going to just also print out file so we can see what we get. Now I'm going to run this. And as you can see, it opens me up in my root directory. This is where my PC starts. If I were to open up a file manager, I can go here as well. So it opens me up on my home directory. But if I go all the way back to where my PC starts, this and this is the same thing. So for example, if I want to find my pictures, I'll have to go into pictures itself and find a few pictures. Of course, it's not here, so I'll have to go to home, Netsu. And then my pictures would be right here. And now as you can see, I can select any .png file. If I switch this over to JPEG, you'll notice I don't have any JPEG files here, so it's not going to allow me to select a JPEG. And of course, if I do this, it will allow me to select any file I want, because it's just everything. Anyhow, when you select that one, for example, we say open. And as you can see, it printed out where that file is located. So yeah, that's the basics of it. So let's actually test out one more. Let's see what other did they have. So if we go here, then of course you can see what they have. And here we can even say ask save as file. That sounds pretty neat. I don't know if it needs any of this, but let's see. And here we go. Now we can save this file, or try to save it, I assume. So let's maybe go, okay, it's not going to give me anything extra, so let's go to home. Where's my home folder? There. Home, Netsu. I'm going to go to my documents, and I'm just going to save it here as my file, or my guile let's just say txt. And I'm going to make it everything. I don't think this is really important. This just shows you what's in here. We say save. And that's, I believe, saved the file. So if we actually opened up my file manager and we went into my documents, which is right there, then there you go, myguile.txt. And I believe it's an empty file because we didn't tell it to save anything. But we probably had to put it in here. Come on, open up. Whoa. What's with this txt file? There we go. Yeah, it has nothing inside of it. So yeah, this is also where you can actually save a file. You just pass it in here as one of its things it needs here, one of its parameters. And yeah, then you're good to go. So of course, if you want to know more about this, you can just hover over it if you have VS Code. And here you can see a lot of things, like everything you can select. Like here's the file types that are allowed. And here's the title and parent mode. And here, ask for a file name to save as and return the opened file. So yeah, there's a lot you can choose from. I'm not going to really go through all of them because they're kind of all the same. If you want to know more about the specific one, it's as simple as quickly Googling it and you'll find your answer within 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't know why I made it so long, probably like a minute. Anyhow, so yeah, that's the basics of file dialogues. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all again in the next tutorial.